Well, good afternoon and welcome back to the Little French Homestead. My name is Sherry. If you are new here today, welcome. Today we are going to be making a brand new recipe and it is called, garlic parmesan chicken with a creamy rotini sauce. So what I'm doing here is just dicing up some chicken breasts that I've had thawed in the refrigerator. Now, I am feeding a family of 5, and my husband does have to go to work today, so I am going to go ahead and double this recipe. That way also too, we have a little bit for leftovers for lunch tomorrow. I had made in a previous video some, the ground sausage and rice skillet meal. Well, I made that again last night upon request. I could link that video to you, but I didn't do a video of it yesterday because I've already made it before. So I made it last night and we still have a little bit left over. So hence lunch for the next day or two as well. So I've already got the water going on the stove. This is not like a one-pot meal. So I'm waiting for the water. It's really almost at a good, nice rolling boil. When you want to go ahead and cook your pasta, you want to make sure that it is very well salted. Kind of almost like the sea. So it's supposed to be very, very, very salty. Now I'm just cutting off the little fatty pieces and those extra parts because I don't want them obviously in my meal. And you want to do these in like bite-sized pieces. It's okay if some are a little bit bigger, but the majority should be like about that. I've got a few that are like this. That's okay. I'm not gonna, that I pulled that one out. That one had a little fat on it. So, I mean, it's okay if some of them are a little bit bigger than normal. I've got it in a bag right here when I thawed it all out. So also too, I noticed, thankfully, which I always do anyway, but when you're thawing meat, especially chicken, over a day or two in the refrigerator, because I know sometimes, you know, life happens, so you may not be able to cook that particular meal that you wanted to cook that night. That's what happened the other day, and I had to transport into something else. But it's always very good to leave it in a pan or some kind of bowl, so then that way any leakage from the chicken doesn't go all the way down. So actually I have a small like a sink pan, plastic, like if you would do dishes in a smaller one. I actually have that in there, and thankfully I did, because it did over leak. Now I've already cleaned it all up and took care of it, because I still have another thing of chicken in the refrigerator that I also too want to use for like another meal for, you know, down the road. All right, so I see here that the water is boiling, so this glove never touched chicken. And then I took my other glove off that did. I'm just gonna go ahead and dump that in there. Now, like I said, this recipe is for, you know, like 4 people, but I am making sure that it is well stocked for others. Now I'm going to go ahead and carefully move this all out of the way. This cutting board does not fit in our dishwasher, so when I do chicken, I hand wash this myself and I bleach it just to make sure that it is thoroughly cleaned. So we are now going to add our ingredients. Now, I'm going to give you all of the measurements in the description box below, but I'm not going to go ahead and really measure because everything here is pretty much like a half a teaspoon, but like I said, I'm doubling it. I'm just going to measure from the heart. You can always add more stuff if you choose to. This is salt, pepper, paprika. Now I'm almost out of paprika, which is fine. This is gonna get cleaned, and we recently made a Sam's trip and I bought some more paprika. All right, this is the fun part. Yes, you can use it in a plastic bag, you know, anytime you want to shake it. There are some times where I like to shake it in these bowls. You just put the lid on really tight. Make sure you hear that seal. And then I just give it a good shake like this. Flip it upside down. Get all that seasonings and spices in there. All right, now let's check it all out. See? Then it's coated all nice and evenly. We're gonna come over here now, as we're gonna go ahead and begin to fry it all up. I'm just gonna go ahead and wash these things down real quick, just to get them out of the way. As I was reading the directions, again, I gotta go ahead and in the same bowl, add some panko breadcrumbs and some Parmesan cheese. So while this is getting up to temp, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I'm using some avocado oil. You can use whatever you have on hand. Now these calls for a half a cup of each. So I'm gonna do a little bit more than a cup. We like our food, if we're gonna do it, nice and crunchy. And then the panko breadcrumbs. The Parmesan cheese. Sorry about that. I'm gonna use this same lid. Now you guys tell me what kind of recipes that you like. Share them down in the description box below. If you've tried any of my recipes, I would love to know. I had one that go viral not too long ago. It was an irresistible crockpot chicken, and I got so many responses off that. It was amazing. Because you would use orange marmalade instead of using like orange juice, because I've had issues with orange juice in the past. And I was so happy when I came across that recipe that I definitely used that. All right, so this is done. I'm just gonna pour this out before I start the chicken. And I'm just gonna allow that to drain over there. All right, so I'm just gonna use my hands. Go ahead and cook these in the panko, in the oil with the panko breadcrumbs. Just want to be real careful so you don't burn your hands. I was putting in something in the oven the other day, and I accidentally burnt my hand right here. But, you know, if you're a cook in the kitchen, whether you're, an amateur, intermediate, or even an expert, you're bound to go ahead and burn yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and cook these all up, And then when I come back, we'll go ahead and finish off the recipe because I got to make sure that these are all thoroughly cooked. Four batches later. Just remember, we're a big family. And I want leftovers. So, if you were only doing probably two chicken breasts, then it probably wouldn't take that long. It took me about almost 20 minutes, a little over 20 minutes. Wanted to make sure they were all cooked, and they are. I have even, I'm going to get nice on this, nice and crispy. Oh, it's broken in half. All right, here was this one. Now look at that. That is perfect color and delicious and white inside. And these are really good. I've had a few already. If you want to make sure that they are cooked all the way through, you've got one of your bigger ones here. And you can go ahead and just give it a cut in half. Usually if the biggest, fattest one is done, all the smaller little ones are done. You certainly don't want to overcook it, but you always want to make sure that there is absolutely no pink, and it's at least 165 or more, minimum. Going to take now some of the smaller pieces out. I just have the paper plate right back over here. We are going to be making our sauce in here, but we're going to combine everything into this larger pan. Now I'm going to shut my fan off. Now you can probably hear me a little bit better. So you want to make sure that you don't burn any of your any chicken, because you're going to be using the same sauce all in here. So you're going to take 2 tablespoons of butter. Just be careful because these things can spark back at you. You want to take your, it calls for 3 cloves of garlic, but I make my own little garlic, and these things are quite big. We love garlic. When I had made my crock pot video for the orange chicken, someone did comment that that was not 3 cloves of garlic. Yes, I know that. It was way more, but we were making a big batch and we absolutely love garlic. So you add what you want to add. All right, and then we're going to add, this is 2 cups of heavy cream. If you were just making the small batch by the recipe, you would just use 1. Mix this all the way through. And then we're going to add another 1/2 cup of cheese right in the sauce. So once you cook the chicken, everything else is really simple. I could have probably cooked the chicken while the pasta was cooking, but I wanted to bring you along and show you what I was doing. So therefore, I wanted to make sure the pasta was done and then this was done. Now we're just gonna go ahead and dump all the chicken, get all those extra juices in there. The more flavor, the better. I do use paper plates here in my house. If you wanna use real, you go right ahead. All right, we're gonna turn that off. All we're doing this is bringing this to a nice boil. We're going to pour it all over this. And that also gives you the scraping all of the bottom of the pan, getting out all of that goodness. This is flavor. You don't want to get rid of flavor. All right, I don't know if you can see that. Let me bring you in a little closer. All right, then you're just gonna go ahead and mix this very good. Serve this with a side of, you know, peas, green beans, carrots, a nice salad, maybe a little bit of some homemade rolls. Then you can garnish this with parsley if you want to, if you got fresh parsley. All I have really is the store-bought parsley, but I'm still gonna go ahead and just give that all a good sprinkle. Have some color shown in it. All right? Yeah, let me go ahead and just clean up for a second, and I'm gonna show you how delicious this is. All right, I wish you could absolutely smell this. This is incredible. I can't wait to go ahead and actually give it a try with the noodles since I've already ate with the chicken. The garlic, the Parmesan. Wow. I have a feeling this is going to be another family favorite. Wow. This is really good. I can't stop eating it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and make a salad. Gonna sit down and have some dinner. I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to come into your home today. If you like this video, please go ahead, like, share. Go ahead and place a comment down below. I always love reading them, and I do always try to answer them, or at least give you a little heart if it's been a few days. But most importantly, go ahead and subscribe. Click that notification bell so you go ahead and see all of my updated videos as they drop. And I'm going to put some videos here and here till my next upload. Thank you so much again for visiting me today. You have a great day. Keep on cooking. Bye.